Alright, I'm going to guide you through the quick setup process of Apex. The first thing you need to do is download Apex from your ThemeForce downloads page. You'll probably have a zip file downloaded. If you're downloading in Safari, Safari usually extracts the zip file right away. But make sure you extract this file, and within that folder you will see the actual theme zip file, apex-1.03.zip. The 1.03 is the version number, so that may change depending on when you download the theme. You'll also see a documentation folder. Double-click the index file to open the documentation. And you'll also be using this sample content folder and files during the setup process. So let's go into your WordPress dashboard. This is a clean install of WordPress. So let's go to Appearance and Themes to install Apex. Select Add New, select Upload Theme, choose File, go to your downloaded package, and within the main-apex, select apex version number.zip, open, and install now. Once it's installed, select Activate. Once it's activated, you'll see this prompt about installing recommended plugins. You will need to do this if you want to set up your theme exactly like the preview site. So select Begin Installing Plugins. You'll see the full list of plugins here. Select the top checkbox to quickly select them all. Go to Bulk Actions, Install, and select Apply. This will install all of the plugins that are recommended for Apex. Some will be pulled from the WordPress depository. Others are plugins from CodeCanyon that we've included in the theme that will install as well. You'll see the full list of plugins installed here. Down at the bottom, select Return to Required Plugins Installer. Now you need to activate these plugins. So again, check this top checkbox, go to Bulk Actions, Activate, and hit Apply. And you'll see the success message. Go back to the dashboard. The WordPress SEO plugin has a couple pop-ups. You can basically just get rid of them if you want. You'll also see this, you must authorize Diddy Twitter ticker access. I'll deal with that in another short video. You'll need to authorize the Diddy Twitter ticker and also the Metaphor Twitter widget with Twitter in order to actually display tweets. But again, that'll be explained in a different video in this documentation. So now that the theme is installed, the plugins are installed, we want to import the sample content. Go down to Tools, Import, select WordPress, select Choose File, go into your sample content folder and find the Apex sample post content.xml, open, and upload file and import. Now you'll be prompted to select a user to attach to these posts. You'll most likely want to assign posts to an existing user as opposed to creating a new one or importing my username into your site. So then select Download and Import File Attachments and Submit. Now usually this process goes fairly smoothly. I've never really had any issues with actual posts being not imported correctly. I have had issues, and other people have had issues with media actually being imported correctly. Sometimes you'll run into failed media imports. This has nothing to do with the theme. The WordPress importer is not a perfect system by any means. So sometimes that happens. The sample images that would be imported anyways are dummy images and not the images on our preview site. So you'd most likely be replacing those anyways. So don't worry too much about that if that happens. If it did, you'd see a bunch of failed import listing here. Hopefully you won't, and everything will go smoothly. So now the sample post content is imported, and we want to set up the theme settings. So go to Appearance, Theme Settings, Import Export, and Import Theme Settings. Choose File, Sample Theme Settings here, select Open, and Import. Once the page refreshes, all of the sample theme settings should be set up. Next, we want to import the widget data. You'll see another pop-up for the SEO. Just close it, unless you want to take the tour. So for the widget data, this works pretty well with one caveat. You cannot have any existing widgets in your widget areas. So let's go to widgets. If you're starting a fresh site, this shouldn't be any issue, but just delete these existing widgets that WordPress creates. If you already had widgets on an existing site, you may not want to do this, but you'll see all these are empty. We'll go back to the theme settings, import, export, import widget data, Apex sample widgets content, select open, and import. Now if you go back to the widgets page, you'll see these are all populated. If you did not remove all the widgets, usually some of the primary widget sample widgets will populate in there, but usually these three sections won't. It's a bit of a conundrum that we're working on, trying to figure out how to make that work. But if you're doing a fresh install, the easiest thing is just to remove the default widgets that are populated, and then you can easily populate our sample widgets. So now that the sample widgets are populated, another optional step is to import the SEO settings. Go to SEO, import, export. Scroll all the way down to the page. Don't use these ones up top. Go down to this bottom, import, choose file. Go to Apex sample widgets, or sample WordPress SEO settings, and open and import. This basically just sets up the breadcrumb menu. Any actual SEO you want to include in your site is up to you. The next step, which is a big one, is we want to set the home page to be the front page. Go to settings and reading. By default, WordPress shows your blog posts on the home page, but we want to show our actual page, which is the home page. So go to front page displays and select home in the front page and save changes. Now we can go view our site, and it's pretty close to set up, but you can see that there's way too many menu items here, and if you click on these links, it goes to the single page. It doesn't scroll down on the page. So with Apex, we need to set up the menu system, which is used to show all the extra content on the single pages as well as scroll down to those sections. So go to Appearance, Menus, select the main menu, which is that top menu in the white bar, and you'll see all of these items in the menu. The first thing we want to do is set the main menu as the primary menu, and then we're going to toggle a few of these icons, or most of these icons, which if you open the help documentation file, you'll see an image which may be easier to go off of. I'm going to run through this quickly to get it set up, but view another video in the documentation that explains the menu structure and the extra content setting sections in a little bit more depth. So right now we're going to click off the links in a few of these sections. And then are also going to toggle the visibility off of these sections. What the links does, toggling them off, hides them from the actual menu. Toggling off the visibility will hide them from the extra content shown on the page. But since the link is still visible on these, it'll show up in the menu. So let's save that, take a quick look back at our site. If we scroll down our main menu, you see that it's much more condensed. A lot of those items have been removed, and what has been removed are those items with the link toggled off. You'll also notice if we scroll down to where the blog section should be, looks like we got, oh, let me go back here. Oh, I forgot to toggle off the video post, so I'll update that. So the menu is pretty much set up. The next thing we need to do is set up the hashtag links. As you'll notice, if we click on these links, it still goes to the single page. but we want that link to scroll down the page. So we need to find the post ID of the home page. So go to your pages, click on home, and up here in the browser you'll see 125. That is the post ID of your home page. Copy that, and we'll go back into our main menu, and for every item that has the link visible, we want to add a hashtag link. What this hashtag link does is it forces these menu items to always go to the post with that ID, which is our home page. So it overrides the link pointing to the single page and points all of these menu items to the home page. But the hashtag link also then appends a hashtag to the link, which enables the scrolling functionality down to the correct content section. Let's check that out here. So I'll refresh. So when I click team now, instead of going to the single page, it goes down to the team section on the home page. And since I did not include the link on the blog page, that actually goes to the single blog page archive, which is what I want. If I click back, it'll bring me to the home page. So that is set up, and we want to do the same thing to the hero menu. So click hero menu. The only thing we need to do on this menu is set the hashtag links. As this menu is not being used for extra content, it is simply only being used for a menu item. But we do want them to scroll on the home page. So now if we click hero menus, it'll scroll down. The blog page will still go to the single page, which is what we want. You'll notice in the contact that the wrong contact page is showing up. So the last thing, one of the last things we need to do is update the contact page. Go to contact. It's most likely the top contact page. If you can get in here and you see the forum group, this is the contact page we want. So select the shortcode, copy, go to your pages, contact us, and just replace the existing shortcode. So now, we go back to the home page. You'll see the nicely formatted contact page that we want. Lastly, we want to update the permalinks. Go to Setting, Permalinks, and select anything except for default. If you're using a lot of posts, you may want to select the day and name and month and name. Select Save Changes, and that is it. Please view the other videos for more information on the Twitter settings, color settings, the extra elements, and custom menus. Thank you for buying the theme.